Happy Monday, everybody. Live from the third largest city in the United States of America, Chicago, Illinois. It's with Mario Smith. I am Mario Smith, and welcome to the show. How you been? How was your weekend? Good. That's good. Today on the show, we have a lot to talk about. Lex Luthor. Elon Musk has bought Twitter. Donald Trump is in contempt of court. And 3 rich dudes came back from space in a parachute, essentially. We'll talk about all those things and much, much more here on the show today. My man Jay Gliss is in Oregon, handling things, holding it down. Gliss, happy Monday, and it's nice to see you. There you are. Look at you.
How's it going?
Hey, I'm here, man. Good to see you, brother. How you doing? How was your weekend?
It was good. We finally had a break from all the crappy weather and had
Same
some
here.
sunshine. Yeah, sunshine yesterday. It's back to raining again the rest of the week. But yeah, we Jack had his big baseball kickoff thing on Saturday, so we were pretty much outside all day on Saturday. He had a couple games and team pictures and all that stuff, so a lot of sun. And then yesterday did some cleaning in the garage and gardening and stuff like that, all the important things.
You sound so excited about those things. What did I do? It was 80 degrees here on Saturday and everybody lost their mind. I couldn't ride my bike because the winds were way too heavy, like 40-mile-per-hour gusts. So there was no bike until last night, after the rain stopped. A straight up monsoon, temperature dropped 20 degrees, and it kicked it, man. Chicago was nice this weekend for me anyway, and I did not overdo anything. I kept it together. Oh man, I'm so proud. I woke up this morning like, yo, you're good. There's nothing happened. So I was I'm good, man. I'm in a good spot, and I'm looking forward to this week. I didn't know that Lex Luthor was going to buy Twitter today, or I would have prepared. And now I'm convinced he's super villain. Super villain. We'll ask the question again. Is he superhero or super villain? I'm looking here in our chat. Silas is here for the first time. He says he's new to Backchannel, and he asked, "Was I alive?" Then he came back and went, "Are you live?" Yes, we are live. And I'm alive. And welcome. And thank you. Skirt's here. What up, Skirt? And it looks like Paige is here. So it's low. Oh, sorry. I thought they said low key donkey. Woo, boy. Loved donkey, absent lion, London, Silas, Skirt, Paige. Cool. And Gliss. And whoever else is watching. So here we are. We're here on Backchannel. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing your Monday with us. Thanks to my pal Hal, your pal Hal, our pal Hal, and Hal's pals. Gliss, by the way, we got to get those 2 jokers on for the baseball thing. I'm doing way better than I thought. This is taking a turn.
Yeah, I need to check back on that email and figure out some times to get together and talk a little now. Yeah, especially if you're doing well.
I'm doing good because I got a lot to say. Although
that could just be the whole segment. It's just you explaining to them how good your team is.
It's fabulous. Well, actually, me and Travis are like 1 and 2 or 2 or 3, something like that.
Yeah. His team has been right there since the beginning.
Man, it's really it's
my team's not doing so hot. So
I've been noticing that. We got to work on your team, Hal's mom's team, Hal's team.
Part of the problem is I've never played fantasy baseball, and so it's just like, I think like most people that play fantasy sports, I think football is probably the most popular, just because and it's like there's like a rhythm to that, and it's like I remember all of a sudden like, oh, I should go check and see what's going on with that. Like, and baseball they play every single day, so I just haven't figured out my process in all this yet. So I'm just kind of like coasting.
So for me, it's like Wordle. You gotta.
Yeah.
I make a space in the morning for Wordle because I play and share my thing with a friend of mine, and she's like, we both curse and talk about how horrible Wordle is, but we play every day. And then I check fantasy baseball, and then I get the alerts on my phone that are like, hey dummy, this guy whose leg fell off last week is in your starting lineup. You may want to take him out, so I can do it that way. I'd rather play the football one. If I had to choose between the two, and it was like you can only play one, I do football.
Yeah.
This is a little bit more of a repetitious uh,
Yeah.
venture. But as long as I'm winning, it's
Right.
great, and I don't mind so
Yeah, I,
much.
I haven't figured it out yet. Part of it, I'm still trying to get accustomed to like what the rules are and all that stuff too. So I'm just like, as long as I don't finish last, I'll be
There you
okay.
go.
But I
Hey,
think as the season goes on, I mean, there's a long time, so as the season goes on, I think I'll learn more and hopefully improve a little bit.
well, just remember, man, if you're not first, you're last. That's what
That's
Ricky
that is
Ricky
true.
Bobby's dad told him that, and I believe it. Let's get on with it, shall we? But there's so much to talk about. I don't want to waste anybody's time. Technically, I'm not wasting your time. You're here willingly. I don't want to take advantage of your time. Let me explain to you a few things first. Welcome to the show. You're here live with us on backchannel.tv, the only place on your Echo device where you can watch and listen to the shows and chat with us in real time, which we like. Again, this is The Drive. I'm Mario Smith. You can catch us here, me and Gliss, Monday through Wednesday and Friday at the same time. Uh, and if you're wondering, how do I get involved with the show? Well, just talk to us. Just like Silas, for example. Silas says, I'm going to Myrtle Beach in a couple of days before Mother's Day. Word. And then he says, I'm going to Myrtle Beach for a week in June. Yes, Myrtle Beach is lovely. Now, how did Silas do all that, you ask? Well, what he did is that he just sent us a chat. You can ask questions or tell us where you're going or what you're eating or any of that stuff. And if you can see me right now, you're watching on an Echo Show device or on a Fire TV device, or you're probably watching on YouTube. And the magic word for your devices is say, I'm trying to think of a new one that doesn't sound like any of the ones that anyone else has ever said. You can say Scarplexa. Yes, that does entertain me, if you're wondering. You can say Scarplexa and then get into the chat that way. And if you're just listening to us on an Echo speaker, go to backchannel.tv. You'll see a button that says chat, get in the chat that way. Or you can also, not or, you should also subscribe. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And welcome to everybody that's watching us today. And if you're wondering what goes on Back Channel, we start at 6 a.m. Eastern with Haley and Allison's Good Morning. And then at 8 a.m. Eastern, it's Liv Harrison and Live Every Day. She's so nice. And then that's every day except for Tuesdays and Thursdays. On those 2 days, she's not bothering with us because she has other nice things to do to help heal our shattered and troubled world. But on those Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. Eastern, it's Kate and Will. And then at 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, it's Get On Up with Jam and Renee. And then at noon, except for Wednesdays, is the Anthony Davis Show with Sir Anthony Davis. Now, on Wednesdays is the Word of the Day quiz, which is really a cool show, and you should check it out. Make it your business. And then at 2 a.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. Eastern, oh, no one's up. At 2 p.m. Eastern, it's your pal Hal with Hal Rudnick and his wonderful cast of friends and super producer Travis. And then it's me and Gliss on The Drive here, The Drive with Mario Smith. So now you're all caught up, and I've done all that I can do for you right now. Let's go over some headlines. We're going to talk more about this in a moment. In the last half hour, Elon Musk reached an agreement to buy Twitter for roughly $44 billion, promising a more lenient touch to policing content on the platform where he promotes his interests, attacks critics, and opines on social and economic issues to more than 83 million followers. We'll have more on that story in just a moment. And a very, very wealthy group of businessmen returned from the International Space Station with their astronaut escort today, wrapping up a pricey trip that marked NASA's debut as a B&B host. Flying back in a SpaceX capsule, they splashed down in the Atlantic off the Florida coast to close out a 17-day tour that cost them $55 million apiece. What in the world? The trip was supposed to last a little over a week, but dicey weather kept the visitors in orbit almost twice as long as intended. Welcome back to Planet Earth, Radio SpaceX Mission Control from Southern California. We hope you enjoyed the extra few days in space. Amazing mission, said real estate tycoon Larry Connor. Before departing the space station Sunday night, the group thanked their 7 hosts, including 3 NASA astronauts whose own mission is nearing an end. And those are the headlines at the top of the hour. When we come back, we'll talk more about Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter and what does that mean for Twitterers like you and me and other things that we've got going. This is The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We really appreciate it. And we'll be back right after these words. Hey, everybody, welcome back. I was just sitting there thinking, I'm looking at this weirdo beard that I have. I think it's going. I can't anymore. I got to get it off. I don't know if it's helping. It's like gray on one side. That's all my troubles. And it's not so gray on the other side. Everything is great. And that bothers me too. I want to get rid of it. Oh well. Welcome back, everybody. Elon Musk has bought Twitter. I don't know. I've asked this question of our passengers, and thank you for being passengers on the drive today, by the way. We really appreciate that. And I've asked the question a lot of times. And do you view Elon Musk as a superhero or a super villain? I'm leaning so hard towards super villain now. In fact, I've taken to calling him Lex Luthor because I feel like he's a villain. So give it to me, passengers. Is Elon Musk a superhero or a super villain? Go to the chat, let us know. Skirt says Elon Musk is a super villain. Silas, by the way, Silas says, is it Silas? Yeah, you already look perfect with it, and you'll still look perfect without it. Talking about this weirdo beard. All right, thank you, Silas. Skirt says he's married to Grimes. Who is Grimes? I don't know who any of these people are. Grimes?
Remember we did that last time.
I don't remember what happened 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I think it was Skirt last time that said that. I believe she's like a Canadian actress or singer. I think
electronic musician is what Skirt's saying. Okay. Electronic musician.
Yeah, I'll look her up.
Silas says supervillain, and Skirt says yes, it was me. There you go, confirmed. It was him. Supervillain. I'm leaning towards supervillain. What does this mean for Twitter, though? At the end of the day, what? Oh, I remember Grimes. Yes, I do. Oh, yeah. Grimes played here at Thalia Hall in Chicago. Yes, Grimes played at Pitchfork one year. Yes, Grimes is dope. I remember Grimes. But you got any initial thoughts, man? Before I start rambling about Lex Luthor purchasing Twitter and not offering to give everybody a Tesla, which is kind of cheap on his part.
I know what's up with that.
I don't know. I want one.
Forget Twitter.
Yeah, give me a Tesla. You
Yeah,
got the money.
I don't. Yeah, exactly.
You just had 3 of your rich buddies go to space via SpaceX. Give me what they call a Tesla.
I mean, I think we all know kind of where this is headed. I mean, we've been talking about this for a couple weeks now since he bought, what was it, a small stake or something, and he's made it clear that his views are, that social media platforms should not be, whatever you want to call it, I guess,
regulated more than anything,
regulating whatever. So I mean, clearly that's where this is all headed. Yeah. now that he's buying the company.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be tight. You being able to make a tweet where you get to speak your mind is really tight. I promote the show on Twitter by inviting people to come to it, and I have a GIF of Elon Musk dropping a mic with a humongous explosion going off behind him, because I think it's over with for Twitter. Twitter, as you know it today, may not be the same Twitter in 10 minutes. This dude is like, there may not be the 140 character limit anymore. There'll probably be an edit button and all kinds of other stuff. And I think those crazy people, I can't call them crazy, those people who had it out to destroy the country will have a voice on there again, and it's going to be a mess. And then at some point, someone's going to say to him, you have to sell it. You can't keep this because it's become too dangerous. I am so surprised that the board of Twitter decided, after seemingly not wanting to do this, to decide that maybe this is a good idea, to sell it to him. It's hard to ignore $46 or $48 billion, split amongst a small group of people, because that's not going to everybody at Twitter. And it would be hard for me to ignore that much money. But, I mean, I don't know if this is going to be worth it to a person who likes to use Twitter, to use that platform for social media. It reduces these conversations even more, I think, to just promotion. So it may just be, it's supposed to be the town square, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's just going to be a long promo, this, buy that. People aren't going to really want to talk on there. Privacy will be an issue, I'm sure. And again, back to that superhero, supervillain question. If you feel some kind of way about him, you probably already deactivated your Twitter account today upon that news, or you're going to, or you're thinking about it. Do you really want to be a part of something like that? Is he trying to be like Facebook? Because he's mad at Facebook too. Is he trying to buy Facebook eventually? This is a thing. And in all the stuff that I've read in the short time that I've had a chance to read it, he wants to privatize Twitter. I don't know if that's a bad idea. Well, listen, he made a statement with Twitter today. He says that he wants to make the service better than ever with new features such as getting rid of automated spam bots and making its algorithms open to the public to increase trust. Okay. Sorry, I guess. Shares of Twitter Incorporated rose 6% today to $52 per share when he announced on April 14th an offer to buy the social media platform for $54 a share. While the stock is up sharply since Musk made his offer, it is well below the high of $77 per share it reached in February of last year. In recent weeks, he has voiced a number of proposed changes for the company, from relaxing its content restrictions, such as the rules that suspended former President Donald Trump's account, to ridding the platform of fake and automated accounts and shifting away from its advertising-based revenue model. Asked during a recent TED Talk if there are any limits to his notion of free speech, Musk said Twitter or any forum is, quote, obviously bound by the laws of the country that it operates in. So obviously, there are some limitations on free speech in the U.S., and of course, Twitter would have to abide by those rules, close quote. Beyond that, though, he said he'd be very reluctant to delete things and in general be cautious about permanent bans. See, that's where I think he's going to have to, somebody is going to have to tell him permanent bans are not a bad idea. Or restrict the hate speech that is all over Twitter. That will be where I want to see what he does. How do you do that? How do you restrict hate speech? How do you make this platform a little bit more comfortable for people to use and not feel threatened and it not be so crazy? Is he still going to, and he and his developers, are they still going to allow for Twitter to serve as that town square if, for example, a policeman shoots someone or if a politician runs afoul of the law or any of that stuff? Is that still going to be a thing? Elon Musk has a big job ahead of him with Twitter. It's bigger than him just buying it for almost $50 billion. The fact that dude's got $50 billion makes me angry anyway, but that's beside the point. How do you make that platform into something that is reasonable so everybody can feel like they can use it? Because those same folks who I may not agree with have as much right to use it as I do. So it'll be interesting. Is Donald Trump going to come back to Twitter because his attempt at creating Twitter failed, like all of his business ventures and political aspirations do? Fail. All of them. Not one of them has worked. They've all failed. So I'm curious to see what happens with Twitter. Of course, as with all things that we talk about, we'll keep it. We'll keep you posted on it. But I don't know. I don't know. I will go back to our question today: superhero or supervillain? Elon Musk. I think supervillain. There's something in my bones that tells me this is not the best idea for us that Elon Musk owns Twitter. Now, if they give me my blue check, I'll change my mind. Gliss, I am so easy to change. It just, hey, Mario got a blue check today? Boom. Thank you. I really would like my blue check. Hey, Backchannel.tv. Hi, Mario Smith here. Can I get my blue check? Can you guys help me get a blue check on my account? That'd be nice. I just want to be, I don't want people to think it's another Mario Smith or Mario in Hyde Park, as it were. It's only me. By the way, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Mario in Hyde Park. Silas said, yes, I will help you, but I need to know how to do it. Yeah, same. I don't know. Silas also does karate practice, I'm seeing. Oh, you're a cool person. Glissy was talking to you. He said you're cool. Ablaze Rooster is here too, by the way. So there's that. Mr. Gliss, did you see the Red Bull plane swap that was attempted yesterday? I missed it.
Not.
It was live on Hulu. They had been advertising it all day yesterday. It's not funny. So two pilots attempted to switch planes while in midair, but they ended up having a crash in the Arizona desert. And now the FAA is like, hey, what are you guys doing? They advertised it all day, though, Gliss. It was on television all day that it was coming on Twitter. It was on TV late last night, 4 Pacific time. I remember it because I'm like, midair plane swap? That's not going to work. Perfect. Hopefully no one dies and it'll happen on the show. And it true to form, it didn't work. You can't swap planes in midair. And it's Red Bull, so they're going to try to do it. None of the pilots were injured, and they touched down to the ground. Red Bull touted the event as a world-first aviation feat. I'm looking at the video now. There's no way in the world that was going to work. So Luke Akins and Andy Farrington, they're cousins, by the way, were supposed to send their Cessna 182s into a tandem nosedive at 14,000 feet and jump out to switch the aircraft. What are we doing? I know this isn't Community Report, but what are we doing? Jumping out of airplanes to switch them? This isn't a James Bond movie, and they don't do they? The pilot that would have done it would have been Tom Cruise. He would have gladly done it. I'll jump out of the plane. I don't care. Let's go. So yeah, one of the planes crashed. It spun out of control and it crashed. And the FAA is like, "Hey, what's going on?" The other pilot got the second plane and it landed safely. But what happened to the? How did? I don't care. Whatever, man. Hey, hi, America. Don't be dumb. No more pilot swaps. Jumping out of a plane in midair to switch planes. Are you serious? That is really hot dog stupid. This is so dumb. Well, everyone's best friend Donald Trump has been held in contempt of court. What do you think that fine is, Gliss? Per day for being in contempt of court in the state of New York. It ain't $46 billion, and Trump probably has it in a sock or under his pillow. It's $10,000 a day. And I asked him,
it could be worse.
It should be more. It should be so much more. I don't understand how this dude is not in jail. I had a conversation and asked a person, why isn't he in jail if he's in contempt of court? Don't they take you to jail and like hold you in a cell for until you get it together? And they're like, he's a former president. Gonna be hard to put him in jail. And I say it should be much easier then. He should go easier than anybody. If you destroy the public trust, that's where you should go. Letitia James imposed the fine as a way to force the former president to turn over the documents her investigators say they need as part of their civil probe into the Trump organization's business practices. Man, that dude is like, F you. I'm not doing any of it. Turning over a document, letting you interview me for the insurrection, none of it. It is mind-blowing to me. I'm sorry, I don't mean to repeat myself, how that man is not in jail. It is amazing. Well, the woman who held the record for the oldest living person has died at the age of 119 years old. Kane Tanaka of Japan died last week, Tuesday. She says, I was able to come this far with the support of many people. I hope you will continue to have fun and be cheerful and energetic. Tanaka was confirmed as the oldest living person on March 9th of 2019. She was born prematurely on January 2nd, 1903. Wow. 119. Gliss, can you imagine? You make it to 119.
I think I'm good. I don't think I need to be 119.
119.
What am I going to do when I'm 119?
We'll be doing the show. I'll be 200 and something. We'll be doing the show. The title of the oldest person ever belongs to Jean-Louise Calment, a French woman who lived until she was 122 years and 164 days and died in 1997. I think, Gliss, if you live to be 119, you'll be on the news every year. They'll have future Dylan T. Pickles on one side of you and future Unipiper on the other. And you'll be talking about how you stayed alive this long. It'll probably involve, at that point, it'll be a pipe, bourbon maybe, and the love of your family. The boys will be grown. You'll have like 100 grandchildren, great grandchildren. It's great.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's old. Unless they find some like, fountain of youth.
Keep you looking that way, but you're 119.
Or at least just like, yeah. I mean, my knees are already feel like they're like 85. So,
hey man, let me
tell you, some help if I'm gonna make it that far.
I was out last week, Thursday, and I stopped into my spot, and this dude was there, and if he wasn't 80 years old, he was 85, and he had on like some Chuck Taylors, some real tight Levi's, a really cool shirt, a bunch of like bracelets, earring in his ear, the whole bro outfit, man. And I was flabbergasted. I'm like, this dude is living his life, but he dresses like a teenager. I don't think
Maybe
I
it keeps
want
them
that
young.
for myself. I don't want to be in a sweater, when I get old. I don't want to make that noise either. 'Cause I don't want to do that. But I can't be walking around looking like I can't dress like this when I'm in my 70s. And well, I guess I could.
Good.
I say, just look odd. Hey, what's wrong with Mario? Why is he wearing Air Jordans? Isn't he in his 80s?
I mean, I feel like once you hit
That's
like
ages.
your 80s, you can like do whatever you want.
Pretty much, dude.
It's like you can get away with pretty much anything.
I know some 80-year-old people that give no you know what's about nothing. They don't care. What did
I
you say?
might just revert to like when I was a kid and just like dress up, just like a different superhero every day,
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
just to confuse people.
Hello,
Might be
Superman.
dressed up as a baseball player or Iron
That's
Man or
what I mean. Every day would be a different thing. I gotta start saving these costumes now. Well, why is Uncle Mario running around looking like dressed up like Bugs Bunny in a baseball outfit? Well, it's Tuesday. That's why. Oh, I might have to do that. Oh man, but yeah, 119 years old, Kane Tanaka. Wow, that's something, man. Ooh, that's something.
it's old.
I mean, I wouldn't object to it. That's just something. Um, Skirt says at 119 years old, you could complain about how great life was when you were young. Yeah, right. And then he says, and that's about it. Ah. Man, I just, I don't know. Let's see. Well, hello, Ms. Pulliam. How you doing? Hey, Teresa, Valuable Asp is here. A Valuable Asp. Their first time on the show. And all you know name folks, you can always go back and add a name. On
Just to clarify, that's asp with a P.
I said asp.
I know.
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
It's just the way it sounds.
I know. Thank you. Because
it's hard to get around it, really.
man, look, now I want to say it. Oh, doggone it, you messed me up. And what's funny is a person just, and I can't do that. She knows who she is, and it is valuable, ain't it? It's valuable. Yep. Yes, it is. By the way, thank you guys, all of your passengers, for being here. You're here with us on the drive. I'm Mario Smith, and if you're enjoying the show, there are two ways to support the show. If you're watching right now and you see that subscribe button, hit it. Subscribe and let you know when we go live, which we appreciate. And another way that you can help me out is no matter where you're watching or listening, leave a review. We love to read how you feel about the show. Just go to backchannel.tv and click leave a review. Your positive reviews help make the show better and keeps the show going. Once again, please do that. Go to backchannel.tv and leave a review. And thank you. Anybody looking to buy a home? Let me tell you something. You sell me a home for $805,000, it cannot come with a person living in it already. That's what's happening in Virginia. A home in Fairfax, Virginia sold this month above the ad price, even though it comes with a squatter. There's a stranger that lives in the house. It's a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom house. Sold to an unnamed buyer on April 15th. The home received 5 cash offers and closed less than a week after it was listed. The listing generated headlines noting that buying the home required acknowledgement that said convey with a person living in lower level with no lease in place, no access to see lower level. Huh? Excuse me, 800,000 for a 5-bed, 4-bedroom, and your own serial killer, a user lamented on Zillow. Is the basement haunted? Feels like the basement is haunted, another wrote. Before the sale closed, the seller was this is what was told to NBC News, that the seller was an elderly man who was ill in a hospital and who had offered the basement dweller a place to stay 3 years ago after she cleaned his home and convinced him that she needed a place to stay. So he offered her the basement, but then she never left, and she doesn't pay rent. The agent told the Post that the man's family was hoping to sell the home before he died because he didn't have a will and that they didn't have the money to hire a lawyer to work on the eviction. A neighbor told WTTG TV that a woman and her daughter live in the basement. The listing describes the lower level as a walkout basement with a legal bathroom, full bath, storage, and large living area. The 3,500 square foot home was built in 1964 and sold for $319,000 in 1997. The listing notes that the home needs work. Yeah, like removing that person that lives in the basement for free. Estimating that required repairs and replacements would cost $25,000. Home is livable but needs some TLC. It reads. Photos show the kitchen counter strewn with empty bottles, deteriorating outdoor furniture on the deck, and rotting window frames. To claim squatters' rights in Virginia, a person has to live in a place for 15 years and not hide the fact that they're living there, according to WUSA TV. The limited inventory of homes in Northern Virginia continues to fuel the market and makes all sales possible when priced right. There is no way in the world. Player, are you kidding? I gotta share a house with a squatter? I'm not buying that house. No. No. Absolutely not. That's crazy. Real quick, Macron won the re-election in France, saving democracy as we know it on planet Earth. Thank you, French people. If you're looking for a job, the Antarctica post office, the Penguin post office is hiring. You just got to go to the Antarctica post office place. Um, there's some thought that fast food delivery or food delivery apps are losing their steam now that everybody's going back outside. I have probably started buying more off of apps than I ever have because going outside is weird. And I don't know if you guys heard this or not, and I'm going to read this as quickly as I can. Last week, Friday, after we got off the air, a man walked up to the front of the Supreme Court building and set himself on fire. Um, let's see. The Metropolitan Police Department in D.C. identified the man as Wynn Bruce of Boulder, Colorado. On Saturday, police said, I'm sorry. Come on. Not Friday. This happened. It happened on Saturday. Police said he died from his injuries. According to the court spokesperson, the incident occurred at about 6:30 p.m. Minutes later, a medical helicopter landed and took the man to a local hospital. No one else was injured. The area was closed to the public after the Supreme Court Police, the U.S. Capitol Police, and Metro Police responded at the scene. No word on why the gentleman set himself on fire. There was a guy here in Chicago many years ago who was a poet whose name is escaping me now. And Bliss, there's a part of the city when you're coming from the airport off of the expressway, there's a sign that says "Welcome to Chicago." It's already in like Chicago. It's not like you cross the border into Chicago. It's just like once you get downtown from the west side of the city. And his name is escaping me. I'll look it up in a minute. But he set himself on fire protesting one of the many wars that the U.S. was fighting at the time. And yeah, that's a real thing. But they never got a chance to find out the motive for that gentleman setting himself on fire. Wow.
Yeah, that's intense.
That very. Silas as that's super intense. If you really, man,
Like that sounds like a terrible way to die.
yeah, yeah. Let me see if I can find it while I answer this question from Silas. Silas wants to know what time does the stream end. Um, Silas, where are you? Where do you live? That would be an easier way for me to explain it. We ended at 6 p.m. Eastern time. He also wants to know if I could eat one food for the rest of my life, what would it be? Man,
That's
I
a
don't
tough
know.
question.
That's a hard question. Come on now. That's oof, that's troubling too. I don't know. That's
I've always said like maybe potatoes. just
Yeah.
because I don't know. I'd be trying to find something that has some versatility.
Ah, yeah.
Like you could cook it different ways, eat it,
Yeah.
prepare it different ways. I don't know.
Yeah.
Skirt says that's easy. It's chocolate.
Yeah. Chocolate would probably be it. Um, mm. Okay. Yeah. This is it. It happened in 2015. He did it right on Franklin and Van Buren. But they don't have his identity. And the guy's a poet, man, and I remember his name. Hmm. It'll come to me. I'll figure it out.
Silas is on the East Coast, by the way, so looks like
Okay, you're saying it's
6 p.m.
4:42.
your
Yeah.
time.
So 6 p.m. your time, Silas. Silas says yes. Silas is on the East Coast. All right. Yeah, 6 p.m. your time. Um, I would suggest you just stay here and just hang on and don't go. Just do it.
And then come back tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's important. Tomorrow's very, very important.
Oh man.
You feeling good, Gliss? We're almost done. The show's almost.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually am a little under the weather today, and for some reason, I just got like really hot in the last 5 minutes.
Oh Jesus Christ! You don't think you got COVID, do you?
I don't know. I'm gonna take a test though, because we're trying to be super careful with our travels coming up.
Man.
So I'm gonna be taking probably several COVID tests in the next few weeks here. Just because on the ships they're like they're pretty strict about it. They won't let you on if you test it. So we're trying to be super diligent about it.
I imagine if you're on the ship and you get sick, they won't let you out that room either.
Oh no, yeah, they put you on lockdown just like they did to Deep Purple on that last cruise.
That's right. He's ready to rock out.
After the smoke on water, it was 3 of them tested positive. So
yeah, it was smoke on
they
the
got
water.
Walked away on their own wing of the ship.
That's right. Hey, this is the Deep Purple section. You guys stay here. Don't leave. Oh, that's terrible. Hey, when we come back, man, we're going to have Skirt's favorite segment, the community report, because we're nothing but all things to all people in the community. Again, Ms. Pulliam, hello. You might have had that valuable ESP we were speaking of earlier. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. And we'll be right back after these words. Miss Pulliam, hello to you too. And zip it. How about that, lady? So, Gliss, the dude's name was Malachi Richer. He set himself on fire in 2006 near the Ohio Street exit right off the Kennedy Expressway. So if you're coming from O'Hare Airport, you're taking the Kennedy straight into downtown. And he was standing there at the sign that says "Welcome to Chicago," and he set himself on fire. He did it apparently as a protest.
That's what I was gonna guess.
Yeah. Um, it was they call it immolation, where you purposely set yourself on fire. He had a note at the scene that said, "Thou shalt not kill," um, and it was definitely an anti-war protest. Uh, he was a jazz musician, a poet, Malachi Richter. Yeah. So when I heard that Friday from our friend that does the stories under the desk, when I heard it from her on Friday, I'm
Oh
like,
right,
oh
yeah.
my goodness gracious, this dude did what this guy did 2006. It seems like a million years ago. Not that long ago. There's a lot of action happening here in the chat too, by the way. Uh, Silas wants to know where you're at, Miss Pulliam. Yeah, where are you? What has joined the stream? I know Miss Pulliam, by the way. What has joined the stream? Roy is on the stream as well. A Blaze Rooster is here. Hello, A Blaze Rooster. Community report time. Because Gliss, you look like you're about to fall out right now. That ain't good. Do we have a contingency plan?
No, I'll be here.
All right. I mean, you can end it anytime, man, if you're not feeling well.
No, that's good. We're good.
All right.
It's only 2 hours. It's not that hard. I think you and we've talked about this before. It's kind of one of those things, and probably most people can relate to this. Like when you have something to do, you just you find a way. Yeah, you kind of zone in and do it and get it done. And I'm sure afterwards I'll probably not feel as great, but I'll get some rest tonight and hopefully feel better. So,
all right. Silas says he's eating the world's biggest gummy. By the way, maybe that's what you should do. That changed the complexion of our show.
Well, I mean, what kind of gummy are we talking?
Good question.
I would like to have a gummy right now.
I bet you would. That would change again. Change our show just a little bit. But hey, 420s every day for some people. I don't understand this. The U.S. Coast Guard is suspending a search for 3 missing children last seen entering the Mississippi River. 2 girls ages 8 and 14 and a 15-year-old boy were seen entering the water on Saturday. In a statement on Sunday, the Coast Guard said it has suspended its search for the 3 missing children near the Crescent City Connection Bridge in New Orleans at around 7:30 p.m. that day. The 3 children, 2 girls aged 8 and 14 and a 15-year-old boy, had last been seen entering the water on Saturday night near the bridge. Rescue crews searched more than 93 miles along the Mississippi River over a combined total of 55 hours, the Coast Guard said. The decision to suspend any search and rescue case is never easy, but considering the extensive search efforts of our Coast Guard men and women in conjunction with other response agencies, I've made the difficult decision to suspend our active search for the 3 children, Captain Kelly Denning said, the Coast Guard Sector New Orleans commander. Our prayers are with the families during this difficult time, Denning said. A number of rescue crews, including the Coast Guard Air Station, New Orleans MH-65 Dolphin helicopter crew, the New Orleans Police and Fire Departments, and the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness were involved in the search. That is horrific. I cannot imagine, 1, how these children got away, and 2, how they could stop looking for them. It would seem to me you would never stop until you at least found something. 2 men were killed and 4 other people were hurt at a shooting at an Indiana block party early Sunday, according to police. Police in Lafayette said officers responded to reports of shots fired in the neighborhood just after 4:20 a.m. Investigators learned that a block party attended by more than 100 people had preceded the shooting. A fight occurred in one of the apartments, and it resulted in shots being fired. 2 men were killed by gunfire and 4 others were wounded, they said. The condition of the 4 wounded people was not clear. Multiple cars and apartments were struck by gunfire, police said, and officers found numerous shell casings inside and outside of the apartment. The shooting is under investigation. No victims or suspects have been identified. That's in Indiana. In California, that's when it starts to take a turn. It gets a little weirder as we go down the list here. A California man was arrested and charged with making threats against Merriam-Webster. Yeah, the dictionary people. For the company's inclusive language around gender, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Massachusetts. Dude, calm down. Jeremy David Hansen, 34, of Rosemore, California, was arrested in. Hey, Gliss, is Rosemore, California another one of those spots I need to be mindful of if I ever go that way? Don't go to Rosemore. This is a three first name dude.
I don't know where Roseville is, so yes, that's probably
Stay
a
away.
sign that
Right.
yeah,
Got it.
because it's probably in the middle of nowhere.
I make my list.
There's lots of places, it's like people think about California, it's a big state, and although those metro areas like the Bay Area and Los Angeles, San Diego are big areas, there's a lot of nothing in California too.
I'm writing it down.
Reading is number one.
Yes. More. Stay the hell away.
By the way, I was just crying laughing because my phone, we have a Ring, and we get these notifications from people that like make posts on there. And some of the things that people post on here are just ridiculous. But I was just laughing at the fact that the subject was guy on hoverboard stealing. And I assume it's one of those like electric ones. And then I started scrolling through because, but there was someone posted a video of a peeping Tom cat, and then wrote several paragraphs about how his goldfish, and it's still totally spooked out by the incident. It's like this. It's just like a waste of time. I don't even know why I have the app to notify me of all this stupid activity that's happening around my neighborhood.
Because you have a show with me, and at some point, some of that stupid activity is going to come into play, and we'll be able to talk about it.
And then I'll have the video.
There you go. Hey man, everything's for a reason, bro. And this is what's going to work. Stacy's here. Stacy says Texas can have some pretty bad stomach viruses. I don't know what that's about. Silas says there's about 10 ducks outside in his pond right now. Nice. And hello, Stacy. How are you? Skirt said this story is about Merriam-Webster is why the community report is. Oh, he says he never hears about this stuff on NPR. Well, thank you, Skirt. Really appreciate it. Hanson, Jeremy David Hanson, 3 first names, always danger. He probably has a beard and some kind of weird goatee thingy. Was arrested and charged with one count of interstate communication of threats to commit violence, according to a press release. He has been released ahead of a court date on Friday. Hanson is accused of leaving threatening comments on Merriam-Webster's website, as well as sending threatening messages via the company's Contact Us feature. The comments left by Hanson were made in October, authorities said. On October 2nd, he used the username @anonymous, but the Y is capitalized, to comment on Merriam-Webster's dictionary entry for the term female, authorities said. Quote, it is absolutely sickening that Merriam-Webster now tells blatant lies and promotes anti-science propaganda. There is no such thing as gender identity. The imbecile who wrote this entry should be hunted down and shot, he allegedly wrote. It is alleged that in a message sent to Merriam-Webster via the Contact Us function, Hanson wrote the company had altered the definition of female as part of the left's, here we go, efforts to corrupt and degrade the English language and deny reality, close quote. Quote, your headquarters should be shot up and bombed. You evil Marxists should all be killed. It would be poetic justice to have someone storm your offices and shoot up the place, leaving none of you commies alive. Commie. How old was he? Oh, God, please. Did I miss how old he was? Did I forget that fast? He's only 34 and he's using commie. Pinko commies. He later allegedly sent another threatening message saying he would, quote, bomb your offices for lying, close quote. In addition to the word female, messages to the company were also sent in relation to its entries for girl and woman. Because of the threats, Merriam-Webster shut down its Springfield, Massachusetts, and New York City offices for 5 business days. Woo! Hanson could face up to 5 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of $250,000. The special agent in charge of the FBI's Boston division, Joseph R. Bonavolante, said that everyone has a right to their opinions, but that Hansen made repeated threats against the company, which is not a protected right. Um, Bonavolante said in a statement, "We are always going to pursue individuals who try to intimidate and isolate members of our community by inciting violent, hateful acts." Dude was so mad at the dictionary that he called them and went in. Wow. Silas has subscribed. Stacy has subscribed. Thank you, guys. Xavier has joined the stream as well. Thank you. Miss Pulliam asks, why is that? Why do they always have 3 first names? Great question, man, because he's got 3 first names. It's a trick. Stacy says, not good, Mario. I don't know if it's something I said or what I read, but yeah, you're right. It's not good. Yeah, I don't have 3 first names. Thankfully, it's just, me. Well, I have a middle name. I don't really want to use it. 2 of the ones I won't be able to get to. A woman was stranded in California in the forest for 6 days, and she survived off of yogurt and snow. Look. Good thing that bear that was breaking in people's houses a few months ago did not find her. Thank goodness she's alive. And I got to read this real quick, and then I have something else that I need to read. But a 13-year-old student in Minnesota is set to graduate from college. Elliot Tanner will soon earn a bachelor's in physics with a minor in math from the University of Minnesota. It's a big kid. He's 13. That's a big boy. Just call him Sheldon because he's pretty smart. He's maintaining a 3.78. God, that dude is not kind of smart. He's very smart. A 3.78 GPA at the University of Minnesota, and he's participating in undergraduate research while also tutoring classmates. He wants to be high-energy theoretical physicist and ultimately a professor of physics at the university. He says, I have an incredible passion for physics. It's been one of my favorite things to do. Elliot's mom, Michelle Tanner, said he started reading and doing math by age 3, following a few years of homeschooling and a high school curriculum that took him 2 years to complete. He began taking college classes when he was 9. Mario, you failed. Everything, all of it, you failed. Congratulations. You're enjoying the drive here. I'm Mario Smith, right here on Backchannel, every Monday through Wednesday and Friday, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. If you can see me right now and you're watching on an Echo Show or Fire TV device, the magic word is say Haplexa and say hello and get in the chat with us. And if you're just listening to us, which is not a bad thing, if you're only listening to us on an Echo speaker and you can't see me, just go to backchannel.tv, get in the chat with us there. You can also subscribe. Once again, that's backchannel.tv, backchannel.tv. Thank you again. When we come back, we'll reset the show. It'll be the top of the hour. Thank you all for watching us. Thanks for being passengers on this wonderful ride today on the drive. And we'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back to The Drive. My name is Mario Smith. Thanks for watching. We are on Backchannel.tv right now, and we really appreciate you being here. If you're watching us on YouTube, the appreciation is no less. If you're listening to us on an Echo-supported device like a speaker or something, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate all of it. We are a show. I'd like to define for you a little bit clearer what it is we do exactly. It's up for debate. Kind of. I mean, we do stuff. We talk, we have fun. You know, we discuss pop culture and news, and we get in depth on some things. We have a chat room, which is bussin', as the kids say today. It's bussin'. I don't know any kids that say that, but we you know, things like that. Like, for example, in a few minutes we're going to talk Johnny Depp, because why wouldn't you? Uh, this trial of his is it's a whole mess. And Gliss, just so you know, everybody, welcome Mr. Gliss. He is in Oregon. He's not feeling too well, so I'm really hoping time moves quickly so I can get my man from the mic and the board there. How you feeling?
I'm all right.
All right, just hang in there, brother. So almost. The headlines, basically, before we jump into the entertainment section of our program, Elon Musk has bought Twitter with maybe a portion, like 50 cents for you and me, 46 billion for him of his own money. He intends on privatizing Twitter. We had a whole discussion about whether or not that's a good idea. It could be, it couldn't be, to be determined. And the other headline is that 3 rich dudes from space are back on Earth. They spent 17 days at the International Space Station. And I think that's the name of their new band, Gliss, 3 Rich Dudes from Space. That's a good band name. I got to work on it. When we come back, we'll have the entertainment report. Right out the gate, we're talking about Johnny Depp. And this crazy trial. And Depp's trying to get together. He's still talking like he's Keith Richards, which is weird, but that's what he does, even though he's from Kentucky. Don't ever forget that. We'll have the entertainment report in just a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Am I right? Did I do everything I was supposed to do? Yes, I did. All right. The entertainment report is... Oh, no. I'll do it now. Oh, no, I did it. I did it at the end instead of at the... Okay. Never mind. We'll be back in just a moment with the entertainment report. Have no fear, the camera's here. Stay tuned. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. Man, Johnny Depp is in a professional mess. Today, and I'm going to do it justice. I'm going to refresh just to make sure I don't miss anything. Today, experts in the Depp Heard trial are going over the question or the phrases mutual abuse and reactive abuse. Let's dig into it, shall we? The phrase mutual abuse has circulated online after a clinical psychologist used it during the defamation trial involving Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. It's a divisive concept, domestic violence experts say. Depp is suing Heard for defamation over an essay she wrote for the Washington Post in 2018, in which she said she had become the public figure representing domestic abuse. Although the article never mentions Depp by name, his attorney said it indirectly refers to allegations she made against him during their 2016 divorce. The trial, which is expected to take weeks, is being widely followed and discussed on social media. Here, both Depp and Heard have testified that the other was physically violent during the course of their relationship. Laurel Anderson, a clinical psychologist and a couple's marriage counselor, described their dynamic as one of mutual abuse, testifying that Depp told her that Heard gave as good as she got. Or he probably said, gave as good as she got. It was a point of pride to her if she felt disrespected to initiate a fight. Her father had beaten her, Anderson said. Heard would rather be in a fight with Depp than see him leave, and she, quote, would strike him to keep him there, close quote. Anderson said in court. During cross examination, Anderson clarified that Heard reported to the therapist that she fought back after Depp became physical. In court filings, Heard says she hit Depp only in self-defense or in defense of her younger sister, according to the New York Times. Since Anderson's testimony, the phrase mutual abuse has become a point of contention in discussions online. Some have described Depp and Heard's relationship dynamic as reactive abuse, a similarly divisive term to describe a victim's emotional outburst against an abuser. Ruth Glenn, president and CEO of the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, disputes the existence of mutual abuse. In every incident between two people, she said, there is a primary aggressor. I don't believe in mutual abuse. I don't believe that two parties decide to meet in the kitchen and box it out, Glenn said. It just doesn't sound right. Reactive abuse. I'm going to abuse you as a reaction. No, I'm going to defend myself as a reaction. That's interesting. This trial is going to go on forever. And I can't repeat half of the stuff, but if you go back, it's all on YouTube, yo. You can literally follow this from the beginning. And Friday was a hoot, apparently, in the courtroom. Gliss, I know you said you're not feeling well, but I gotta ask: have you taken the children to see The Bad Guys yet?
Have not, no.
Apparently, it is working. It's pretty good. It pulled in $24 million, beating the Viking Warriors, Fantastic Beasts, and Nicolas Cage. That Viking movie apparently is quite bloody. So if that's your thing and you like it, then you have at it. Curious about The Bad Guys. Sam Rockwell, Aquafina are in it. Again, $24 million from 4,000 screens in the U.S. and Canada, exceeding expectations and signaling that families are feeling increasingly comfortable returning to theaters. The family-friendly movie is back, and in a big way, as The Bad Guys continues the winning streak for animated films aimed at attracting everyone from little kids to grandma. That's another good band name. Ladies and gentlemen, from little kids to grandma. An audience that at one point during the pandemic was believed to be a no-show at the multiplex, says, Paul, why do they have such difficult names? How come his name couldn't be like Miller or Franklin? Paul Dergarbedian, a senior media analyst at Comscore. I've said his name before. Comscore, a company that tracks box office data. Paramount Sonic the Hedgehog zipped to the number 2 spot at the weekend box office with $15 million, bringing its cumulative domestic gross to an estimated $145.8 million. Warner Brothers' Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, slipped to number 3, adding just $14 million to a $67 million cumulative domestic haul. The weekend also saw the release of 2 more adult skewing titles, The Northman, a bloody Viking epic starring Alexander Skarsgård, opened in theaters. I hope I'm not offending you. Opened in theaters with $12 million. And it's because, I mean, I don't want, first of all, dude's big. I don't need him chasing me down. And it's Skarsgård. It's that weird thing over the A. Is that a umlaut? I'll make this bigger because my eyes. No, that's not an umlaut. That is just a. So it's Skarsgård. I need a ruling. Anybody help me? It opened in English last, which doesn't make it better. It opened in theaters with $12 million from 3,234 domestic locations and landed in the number 4 position. Lionsgate's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, a movie I gotta see that. Starring Nicolas Cage as himself, grabbed $7 million from 3,036
I want to
locations in
see
the
that.
US and Canada. Huh?
I want to see that.
Oh man, I really want to see it. I want to see that so unbelievably badly. I cannot imagine how good that is because Nick Cage is horrible. Not horrible in a bad way, just like he is. He is awesome.
And
Becca
I
is
think that's why that movie looks appealing, because it's like the fact that he's, playing a washed up movie star,
yeah
Nick Cage. Like, I don't know, there's something appealing about that.
it says to me, I want to see it. I'm gonna see it. I must see it.
Yeah, it's got to
Becca's
be.
in Kansas, by the way, watching the show. It's got to be good, right? It can't be bad. Stacy says, "Hey Gliss, I think Mario could use your help." It was on Sky's Guide to Shoot. I couldn't get it, but I figured it out.
Actually, she said glass.
That's your name. I say Bliss.
But we know what she meant. It's
I
like,
think you might have been
what's
lying to me
that?
all this time.
What's the guy from the M. Night Shyamalan movie, Mr. Glass?
Mr. Glass. Start
Mr.
calling you. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll change the producer name to Mr. Glass.
Glass.
Mr. Glass. Preston's in New York. Becca's in Kansas. Thank you guys for watching. Truly appreciate it. Oh man. Stacy, we gave Stacy an Amazon gift card
That's
on
right.
Friday. She should be getting it soon. Ian is here. Ian, hello. We got to give another one of those away today, Bliss.
Let's do it.
You want to do it during sports?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. We're not going through the trouble we went through last time, America, trying to give you one of these things. That just was too much. I can't. I'm mentally, I can't do that again because that was a whole lot of stuff. Jon Stewart. If he's not my favorite, he's in the top 4. Won the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. I can't say one that he was given the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. Mark Twain once said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Using humor to shine a light on the truth is what the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor is all about. Jon Stewart, this year's recipient of the prize, was honored at the Kennedy Center for his satire and his activism. Stewart has been a fierce advocate for veterans and 9/11 first responders and their families. This being an event full of comedians, the Mark Twain Prize is more of a roast than a dignified celebration. Jimmy Kimmel quipped, John hosted the most important political satire of our generation and quit right before Trump was elected. That's like going to Woodstock and leaving after Sha Na Na. Ouch. That's good. Sha Na Na performed at Kids, I know. Google Sha Na Na and then Google Sha Na Na and Woodstock. It makes no sense that Sha Na Na was at Woodstock. And if any members of Sha Na or Na are alive and watching this, I love you. As one of the correspondents on The Daily Show, Steve Carell told of an early assignment to visit a venom research facility in Nebraska. Carell explained that when he arrived, the research facility was a mobile home full of snakes. Carell says Stewart loved the interview. As he watched it, he jokingly said over and over, it would have been great if I'd actually been bitten by a snake. In its early days, The Daily Show took some heat for its lack of diversity. For a time, Samantha Bee was its sole female correspondent. As she praised Stewart for plucking her from obscurity, she also joked, it's my greatest pleasure to speak to you tonight as the woman behind the man, behind the man, behind the man, behind all the other men. For 16 years, The Daily Show with Jon Stewart relentlessly skewered politicians and the news media. The show won 2 Peabody Awards and 20 Emmys. Even though it was on Comedy Central, it was also where a lot of people got their news. Dave Chappelle, who won the Mark Twain Prize in 2019, said Stewart's voice was vital after 9/11 and the U.S. invasion of Iraq. The news was off the chain, and John was the only voice that helped people decipher that madness. If you haven't had a chance to check out his new show on Apple TV, it's really good. The problem with Jon Stewart, man, this dude, for me, he is really he is really amazing at being able to inject these stories with humor, but give you that story. His work with the first responders for 9/11, these dudes are if they're not all gone, they're going. And the government was very reluctant to do anything about it. And he's there at Capitol Hill every year. And he's fighting that fight every year. And I'm a big fan of Jon Stewart, man. I can't speak for anyone else, but he, to me, is one of the greatest things that's ever happened to American television. And I remember when he was on MTV, and I loved him in Half Baked and all other crazy stuff that he's ever done. But that's a quality, solid dude. Uh, Vague Links in Kansas says hello. And hello, Vague Links. Um, Silas says, I have to go. And when I get back from my karate practice, will you all be off? Depending on what time you get back, we're gone at the top of the next hour. So this is 5:17 there. At 6 o'clock, your time, this will be off. Just come back tomorrow. We got you. We'll be around. Slide back through here tomorrow, brother. I promise we'll be. Hey, Silas, you come around, we'll be back. Let's see here. What else are we doing? This will be it. Okay, this will be it then. Not at the end yet, but we're getting close to the end of this segment. We're giving away a $25 Amazon gift card in our next segment, so don't go anyplace. And I think that's a good idea to give it away during sports list because we lose anybody with me yelling about what happened the weekend in Chicago in sports. Oh my God. I just made myself want to throw up. It was so bad. Netflix usually wants subscribers glued to their television screens, but this week, especially if you're out in California, in Los Angeles, for my Los Angeles fans, the streaming giant will give comedy nerds at least one reason to get off the couch. Netflix is a joke. The festival is the entertainment company's most ambitious foray into live in-person events since it was founded 25 years ago. An 11-day, 250-show comedy extravaganza across more than 30 venues in LA. The festival, scheduled to take place from Thursday to May 8th, underscores Netflix's big spending commitment to stand-up comedy as an artistic medium and a business venture. In the last decade, the platform has given home to dozens of exclusive stand-up specials from some of the biggest and some of the most incendiary names in modern comedy, luring comics away from HBO and Comedy Central. Here's the lineup. Aziz Ansari, Patton Oswalt, and Wanda Sykes at the Orpheum, Kevin Hart at Crypto.com, my man Fluffy Iglesias, Gabriel Iglesias at Dodger Stadium, Sebastian Maniscalco from the Chicago area at the Art Deco landmark, the Wiltern, John Mulaney from Chicago at the Hollywood Bowl, Amy Schumer at the Ace Hotel. This sounds like it's going to be great. If you're out in California, man, hit it. The most headlining-grabbing comic on the festival bill will be Dave Chappelle. He will be performing at the Hollywood Bowl for 3 nights in a row starting on Thursday. And that should be very interesting. I'm sure he will have something to say about what we've been witnessing in our news. They're doing stuff around LGBTQ comedians at the Greek Theater. Billy Eichner, Eddie Izzard, Fortune Femster, Margaret Cho, Patty Harrison, Sandra Bernhard, Tig Notaro. Tig Notaro is what's happening. And Wanda Sykes. All those would be good. Sandra Bernhard once yelled at me, Gliss, many years ago.
What did you do?
Well, it's not so much what I did, but what was being done to her. And by the time I got to her, she had just had enough. So there was a place here in town. I'm not going to say that, I should say the name of the place because she won't sue Amazon. This is a place called the Hot House. And at the Hot House, and I don't mean Sandra Bernhardt won't sue Amazon, the person who owns the Hot House. She ain't watching. At the Hot House, Sandra Bernhardt was performing, but I guess she got treated so badly by everybody by the time I got to work. When I got there, I'm like, wow, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And she would stop talking to me. I was like, I said, okay. And then, of course, I'm like, would you like a drink or something? And she just looked at me like we knew each other. And then after a couple of minutes of that, the Chicago in me came flying out, and I'm like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you mad at me?" And it declined. So yeah, I have had a run-in with Sandra Bernhard. Not one of my prouder moments, but I did it, and you just can't talk to me any kind of way. I'm respectful up until the point that it's like, all right, what's wrong? And I was really kind of concerned about what had happened, because if it was something I could do about it, I was going to try to do it. She's just, man. And then she got on stage, did her routine about the place I worked. So whatever routine she had planned, she scrapped it and talked about my job for 2 solid hours. She did not stop. When she started, she went through it. She didn't laugh. She didn't smile. She finished. She put the mic back on the stand and walked away. People were trying to like say hi. She was just real. I was not happy.
I can imagine it, being in the spotlight could be difficult sometimes.
Well, I will put this out here publicly. If anyone from Backchannel has a line on Sandra Bernhard and she wants to come on the show and not remember anything that I said, because this happened almost 30
Maybe
years
she'll be
ago.
in a better mood.
Oh, maybe. I mean, look, I got this fancy border now with my name on it. Yeah. She might be like, "Oh, you made it from doorman to comedian," but I'm not a comedian.
I would say, like, we used to have when I worked in sports radio, there's a comedy club here. I believe it's all over the country. It's like a chain type thing. It's called Helium.
Okay.
And when we would on Fridays, we would typically have whatever comedian was going to come to Helium that weekend. It was just kind of a fun way to end the week. Have a comedian come in studio. So I met a bunch of different comedians, and comedians are really, really interesting people.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them seem like they have really messed up childhoods, or they're just like super, super intelligent, like really down to earth people.
Let me tell you, man, Dion Cole is one of those super smart people. Dave Hellam, another comedian I know, unbelievably smart. Tony Baker, super just smart, quick, and very smart. I've had the pleasure of meeting Dave Chappelle a couple of times. One of the smartest men outside. I mean, put comedy away. That dude is
he's
super smart and super, super cool. But yeah, comedians are very interesting people, man. They're interesting.
Yeah, we once on John Lovitz once came on the sports show, and he cried.
Oh wow!
He started talking about how he got into comedy to get his father's approval, and we're trying to do this like light Friday segment, like, "Hey, it's John Lovitz, everybody," and it was it
happens.
Disaster,
It happens, man. It happens. People, you never know what someone's going through. I told you I read a poem a couple of weeks ago and it broke down. I had a breakdown.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Like you said, you never know what other people are going through.
Yeah, and you expect John Lovitz to be funny all the time, and he triggered him.
He was not funny at all during that interview. And another guy was Pauly Shore. Speaking of people that are kind of like don't want to be bothered. I don't know what kind of drugs he was on, but he was not having he didn't want to take pictures with anybody. Like he was just like he had sunglasses on and was like, dude, it's like 1:30 in the afternoon, and you're inside. When you have
man, look,
he did not look like he was in good shape.
Wow, I haven't seen him much lately.
Yeah, his childhood sounded interesting too.
Very. I mean, well,
he kind of grew up. I think his mom owned a comedy club or something.
Yeah, I think she owned the Improv.
Yeah, so he kind of grew up around it and was like performing by the time he was like 12 or something like that.
Right,
so,
that dude's.
You gotta imagine that's a long time in the public guy.
He's like, screw you guys. I am mad late, but I'm going to do it anyway. Thanks for being here, everybody. If you're enjoying the show, there are 2 ways to support the show that would really help me out. If you're watching right now and you see that subscribe button, click it. Subscribe and I'll let you know when we're on the air. Me and Glitz got some. I'm telling you, we have not just that pretty border. We have some plans, and they're coming soon, and we want you guys to be a part of it. So go to backchannel.tv and click Also, click that, and also click to leave us a review of the show. We'd like to know what you think. When we come back, we'll have Sportsy Sports, and we're going to give somebody a $25 Amazon gift card. Silas, we come on at 4. Oh, Silas left, but we're on at 4 p.m. Eastern time every day except for Thursday. When we come back, we have the Dylan T. Pickle Sports page. We'll be back in just a moment. It's backchannel.tv. Welcome back, everybody, to the drive. It's time for the Sportsy Sports. Oh, it gets no better than this. Excuse me. Sportsy Sports, sports at its finest. It's sportsy. It's sports. It's sportsy sports. Amazon is pushing for a Black Friday football game. Not making it up. The idea is to present a telecast on Black Friday. Very quietly during the NFL meetings last month in Florida, owners passed what looked like a meaningless resolution, and in the grand scheme of things, it's not a huge story, but the resolution has some interesting meaning. Owners gave the NFL permission to schedule 2 more teams for a second short week game. No big deal to Amazon Prime, the new owners of the Thursday night package of NFL games. Amazon will attempt to get Americans who don't have Amazon Prime membership to pay $8.99 a month now for its streaming service. So Amazon is focused on a great package of games that this fall will help convince potential subscribers it's a must-have service. Amazon Prime has wanted a Black Friday game, a game on the Friday after Thanksgiving as part of its schedule in 2022 or at the latest by 2023. This resolution gave the NFL the ability to take 2 more teams and make them play. In this case, on the Friday following a Sunday game. For each, it would be the second time of the year playing on 3 or 4 days rest, something no coach will actually want to do. But for Amazon Prime, a new partner in the NFL very much wants to help succeed because of the deep-pocketed ways they've shown as the first major player in streaming a series of games nationally. A Black Friday game would be huge. What better marketing tool for Amazon Prime than to put a game in the wheelhouse of their consumers on the busiest shopping day of the year? With so many shoppers eschewing brick-and-mortar stores in favor of shopping from the couch, imagine the marketing heft when commercials can be targeted at stay-at-home shoppers. Man, this is brilliant. Amazon has made a huge bid for the game. It's between Gliss. Are you sitting down? You're still sitting down. For one game, between $70 million and $100 million. What did we ask for? $45 million last week, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, that's nothing.
I want that, man. I think
I'm gonna have to up the price.
Yeah, hey, you got to win. You know what to do. That's wild. That is so crazy. Let me see here. Hold on a second. It seems like a win-win, but here's why it might not be. Competition for sporting eyes that day. The eyes of the nation on Black Friday will be on the USA-England World Cup match in Qatar, going live at 2 p.m. Eastern time. The NFL is forbidden from doing a night game on a Friday or Saturday before the second Saturday in December to protect the audiences at high school playoff games and college football games till mid-December. So that means the Black Friday game would have to begin no later than 4:15 p.m. Eastern. Internal league office opposition. It's big perhaps big enough to turn down a $2 million plus per team found money windfall. And inventory, this might be the biggest problem. On Thanksgiving weekend, there are already 6 national TV games on the schedule, 3 on Thanksgiving, 1 doubleheader game Sunday, primetime Sunday, and primetime Monday. How much is too much? Particularly on a weekend where there's likely to be at least 2 teams on the bye. So Detroit versus whoever in the first Thanksgiving game is traditionally sketchy, but the next 5 have to be pretty good. There really isn't inventory to be sure that an extra game can be a solid matchup. And does Amazon want to write a big check to Mario and Gliss for 45 million? That's not in that copy. Do they want to write a big check for, say, Tennessee Houston, one good team and one very iffy one? So if the league okays the game for November 25th, it would likely be wedged after the World Cup and before primetime without a lot of buzz to it on an untraditional day for the NFL with at least one risky team. If the league okays it, it's a clear sign among the many we've seen in recent years that money is the ultimate decider in the NFL. Wow. Wow. That is mind-blowing. Can you imagine? Andrea, Amused Hawk, Madison, welcome, 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 everybody. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Third B. Welcome. That's a lot of football. I don't know if I want that much football. I'm just saying that's a lot of football, even though it's from Amazon. I don't know if I. And then when they present that case, because I'm watching that World Cup game, you better know it. USA versus England, and the USA can beat England. Yeah, I'm watching it. Most definitely. So I know that talking about. Oh, by the way, hey, Bliss, can we do this real quick?
Yes. What is?
Okay, I'm trying to. Silas left. That's too bad. I'm gonna have to get Silas. Are you still around?
I think he's at karate.
Doggone it! Stupid self-defense. Well,
Well, hopefully he comes back because now I'm curious what belt he has.
Yeah, I'd like to know that too. Okay. Hey, Amused Hawk. No. Madison. No, that seems like a bribe if I do that. This is I messed up my own plan. Okay, Amused Hawk. How you doing, Amused Hawk? Talk back to me real quick, Amused Hawk. I wanna present a proposal to you. Amused Hawk or Becca, if either one of you two are still around. I would like to first let me say hi, and I want to propose I have something to say to you, but you got to talk back to me so I know that you're around. And it looks dire. This is as bad as Friday. And nobody wants to say anything. Hey, if anybody out there that's here, you say hi right now. Could be be worth your while. Anybody but Stacy. And no offense to Stacy. Stacy can't say hi twice. She can say hi as much as she wants. Nobody? I'm going to try again in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my eye on it, though, because this segment, I don't need to read anything. Look, this weekend in sports, in one city, might have been the worst weekend ever. The White Sox haven't won a game since Reconstruction. The Cubs scored 3 touchdowns on the Pittsburgh Steelers. No, that's not what happened. They scored 21 points in a baseball game, a 21-0 game. That was fun. The newest wide receiver for the Bears got arrested for doing donuts with a baby in the back of his car on a suspended license. That's not funny. The Bulls got embarrassed Friday and Saturday in a way that it's mind-blowing that these dudes they are the most benevolent men ever in the history of American sports. They're so nice. And then what was the other? Oh, the White Sox got walked off because our manager, Hall of Fame baseball person Tony La Russa, has had enough, and he should probably be asked to leave. I don't know how much of this you caught this weekend, Gliss, but it was horrible here. Oh, it was so bad. It was like, why are we even doing this? Why are we playing any of these sports? I did see Miguel Cabrera get his 3,000th hit though. That was really cool. That's one of my players I like. He's not too baseball-y. He's he does his thing. I like him a lot. He's got 3,000 hits and 500 home runs and like 7,000 strikeouts, something like that. So shout out to him. Another White Sox player's leg fell off, Eloy Jimenez.
Could it be? I mean, like what's going on there?
Man, bro,
it's kind of like you know what it reminds me of is like, although this was like kind of franchise altering, but like in the late 2000s when the Blazers drafted Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge, then got the #1 pick and took Greg Oden. And you know that those guys, so in like I think it was 3.5 or 4 seasons, those three only played 55 games together, and I believe won all except like 10 of them. And it's just like it was like the total like what could have been team, because you had 3 young supposed to be rising superstars, and they just couldn't keep anybody on that team healthy.
This is where we at. Besides the fact with the White Sox, they were bouncing the baseball all over Cleveland and Minnesota. Like every other play was an error. Tim Anderson had like 3 errors. That's why he got suspended. He gave the fans a middle finger because they were laughing at him and booing him. And just a mess. And Grayson Allen with the Bucks just going unimpeded. He broke a man's wrist. They did nothing to punish him for that.
That's a shame.
Oh my God, he had 22 points 2 days in a row. He's good, but he ain't that damn good. And I'm telling you, for the first time in a long time, I realized how big of a Bulls fan I am because I got absolutely angry and I had to stop myself right at the beginning of it to go, dude, you have no vested interest in this game other than being a fan. Calm down.
Amen. Being a fan can be rough sometimes, especially when you are emotionally invested and you know it's the playoffs. It's hard not to let the weight of that time, you know, because you get excited to watch your team in the playoffs and you know thinking about their odds of making a run and all that stuff. So when the team lays a dud, it's it hurts.
And this team, I mean, I think about all those 90s Bulls teams. I think about basketball in the late 80s, early 90s. Just playing basketball, period. There's no way in the world that a player on another team is going to hurt one of my main guys and something, not try to hurt him, not try to break his wrist, not try to do any of that stuff, but something. Oh, the loudest message I can send. This lane you keep leaving your furniture in and setting up your TV and your card table, you have to move your furniture. You're not allowed here. They did nothing. Nothing. I was watching a videotape of Larry Bird against the Celtics. The Celtics against the Lakers.
Yeah.
There are so many bodies flying out the air, people getting clotheslined, kicked in the head. Just that's how you do it.
Yeah, you had to be tough then.
Yes. This NBA is not it. But Chris Paul got involved in a nice shoving match. Did you see that? With New Orleans.
Yeah, he likes to partake in.
He sure does. But dude pushed him back like so, and then the ref wouldn't call anything. I thought that was great. That's how you do it. Hey man, I played enough basketball in my life to know if you try to, it's that stupid line in the Untouchables. You kill one of mine, I kill 2 of yours. It's the Chicago way, whatever. But you're not doing that.
And just in general, like, basketball's a physical sport. Like, basketball was the sport I always played growing up. And I'm not a big guy. I'm only 5'7".
Yeah.
And I remember, like, when we would practice, like, if I got into the lane and scored a layup, like, much I would always be very amused, because that would lead to all the big guys getting
Right.
completely chewed out. Like, you do not let like, if he comes back down here, you better put him on the ground. Like,
Right.
so I mean, that's how basketball should be played. You don't want
I
to
mean,
let,
again,
but
you don't have to try to hurt somebody.
not to hurt anybody, but to send a
You're coming
message,
in.
like,
Yeah.
make them think twice. Like, you don't let anybody have anything easy.
And no one likes getting hit. So if I hit
No,
somebody when they come
exactly.
in the lane, I know they're not coming back. They shoot
And you
that jumper.
absolutely are going to think about it again. Yeah.
Yeah. I've come to the lane that got knocked on my butt and going, man, I can't do that again because this floor is hard.
that,
I don't
that
want to
didn't
hit.
feel good.
Oh, but I wasn't like ready unless it was something really blatant that like it's all about if it's a basketball play,
Oh, yeah.
very few times is there followed through like it was intentional. But on the instance it was intentional, especially us, we were a bit feisty. So it was going down. And speaking of feisty, what happened to the New York, Brooklyn Nets? They're done. If they lose this game, they're gonna bust that whole thing up, don't you think?
They suck. Yeah. Hey,
I think
man.
it's
Well,
over with.
it's funny because there's been a lot of talk that, like, we're kind of seeing the end of the, what do they call it? The
On Super Team?
super team era. With what's happened, with what happened in Los Angeles, and now what's happening with Brooklyn, that there's now this, like, kind of changing thought of, like, maybe just because it looks good on paper, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Which I've always kind of agreed with that. Like, I've not been a fan of the whole super team era. I'd like to see more talent spread. In fact, if I had one complaint about the NBA, that's probably at the front of the line. I think the NBA needs more parity. And you thought,
Mhm.
like, that era you were talking about, even though the Bulls won so many championships in the 90s, but in the 80s and 90s there was really those teams, like, whether it was the Pistons, the Celtics, the Lakers, even the Bulls, like, they had to go through really, really good teams. Like, it
Yep.
wasn't like, I mean, in particular in 96, it wasn't like as good as the Bulls were that year, maybe the best team ever. It still wasn't like a foregone conclusion that they could beat Seattle, because people forgot that, the Sonics won like something like 60, 67 or 67. I can't remember how many, but they had also a historical season that year. And
They sure did.
it's not like the Bulls were, playing a bunch of nobodies every single year. Which I think was kind of like, if you look at the early 2000s Lakers teams, it was
Yeah.
kind of like whoever came out of the West was going to win the championship. And I don't think it was ever like that in the 80s and 90s. It seems like there was just a lot more parity, and having, 3 or 4 superstars on 5 teams just isn't very fun as a casual viewer, in my opinion,
I
because I
like
want
a
to see
team.
more good teams.
Yeah. I like a good team, man. I like a good team. That New Orleans team is a good team. That Memphis team is a good team. I like
Yeah.
teams. You can have a superstar or two, that's fine. But
Yeah,
what Brooklyn did, that's just I think that's over. I hope it's over. Because it
I
didn't
hope
work.
so too.
And Kyrie Irving is like, I'm not getting vaccinated. I'm not. You sabotage your team. If they get swept, and I'm Kevin Durant, how quick can I get out of Brooklyn? And here I'll say it and get to Chicago.
Yeah, and the other thing about these teams like Brooklyn is, and since I'm in Portland, I'll use this example. Like, people have, from outside of Portland, have been advocating Damian Lillard to get out of town for several years now.
Mm-hmm.
And his stance has always been, look, like, I planted my roots here, like, I built something, like, this is something that I can walk, whatever the outcome may be at the end of my career, like, my legacy is that I built this from the ground up, and
Yeah.
everything I leave behind is part of what I built here. And I appreciate that about a player of his caliber, where, you see guys like Durant and LeBron playing on 5-6 different teams throughout their career. Just,
Mm-hmm.
it's like when you played basketball at lunchtime as a kid, and it's like, just stacking up the teams. You
Right.
end up with one team that has like all the best players,
Right.
and they're just beating up on the other the other scrubs, and that's no
Beating them
fun.
up bad. No,
Yeah,
it's never fun.
it's not
I
fun
don't
for
have it.
anybody.
Hey, no name, who just said hello. What is your name? Hey, Chris. Hey, Amelia. I'm still trying. We may have to do that tomorrow. Want to just
Yeah,
do it tomorrow?
we could see if Silas comes back.
Okay. If Silas comes back, well, let's do it tomorrow.
All right, let's do it tomorrow.
I'm just letting you guys know you all missed out. You'll have to come back tomorrow to find out what we were talking about. I didn't get a chance to mention this, and I wanted to, and this is from the Innocence Project, and actually this happened earlier today. The Texas Court of Criminal Appeals stayed the execution of Melissa Lucio. She will not be facing execution on April 27th. That's in 2 days. And there's new evidence that says she did not kill her child. She's been on death row for 14 years. This is humongous news. So I would have been remiss to let this show end without mentioning that. Hey, Wacky Anteater, congratulations to everybody in the Innocence Project. That's a hardworking group of people, man. They're doing a lot of good work around the United States. When we come back, we'll have a story that is front of mind. And boy, oh boy, this is a real one. We'll be back in just a moment. It's The Drive here on Backchannel.tv. Okay, brace yourself. If you're eating, stop eating for a moment. Just, all of our friends at Back Channel, this is from the Associated Press. It's a real story. Um, it is my civic duty to do this, and here it is. And Gliss, you can vouch for this too. This is in Washington, Quilcene, Washington. A woman who accidentally dropped her cell phone into the hole of an outhouse in a national forest and fell in. Oh my God. While trying to retrieve it, had to be rescued by firefighters in Washington State. Brennan Fire Department Chief Tim Manley. Of course, his name is Tim Manley. That ain't his name. Tim Manley said the woman who was at the top of Mount Walker. I said, you think his name is Tim Manley? That seems like a stretch. Get him on the phone. Who was at the top of Mount Walker in the Olympic National Forest northwest of Seattle, had been using her phone when it fell into the toilet on Tuesday, the Kitsap Sun reported. Manley said, and it's spelled Manly. Manly. Like, I don't believe it. Said, that's a radio name. Hey, everybody, what's happening? Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Manly. It's 50 minutes after the hour. Manley said she disassembled the toilet seat and used dog leashes to try and get the phone, and eventually used the leashes to tie herself off as she reached for it. That effort failed, clearly, and she fell into the toilet head first.
Oh man,
they didn't work very well, and in she went. Manley said, "Hey, everybody."
I like the fact that in his quotes he's almost like making fun of her.
He's so funny.
He's like basically like antagonizing her, like, well, that didn't work.
That was stupid. Yeah. Ugh. The woman was alone and tried to get out for 10 to 15 minutes. Reunited with her phone. She called 911, Manley said. Hope she used a speaker. Oh my God. She felt bad. Responding firefighters passed her blocks to stand on to reach a harness, which they used to pull her out of the vault. The Brennan Fire Department said the woman said she was uninjured. She was washed down and strongly encouraged to seek medical attention after being exposed to human waste, but she only wanted to leave, the department said. I've been doing this for 40 years, and that was a first. Manley said. Holy frioli, the lady fell in the toilet. Oh, man. The only thing that
probably wasn't the best choice of trying to get your phone.
The only thing that would have made that better is if she would have been from Florida, because then we could have ran it.
Yeah.
Oh God. Hey, Shy and Julie and Spiffy Cuckoo and Johnny. Hello, everybody. It's Spiffy Cuckoo's first time and also Shy B's first time. Welcome. And Wacky Anteater. Oh, that's too good. Well, she tried, but this didn't work. She fell inside. I'm Tim Medley. I think that's the name I'll use on the day we do DJ Day. What's up, everybody? Tim Medley. On this date in 1990, the Hubble Space Telescope is deployed from the Space Shuttle Discovery. On this day in 1992, an earthquake measuring 7.1 on the Richter scale shakes Northern California. You remember that one? You were probably super little, if alive. You were alive?
I was like 9. Yeah. I don't think we lived in LA at the time. We lived in LA a couple years later.
Oh, okay. Good. Glad. And The Rock was there to save everyone, too, when the earthquake happened. In 1999, more than 70,000 mourners gathered in Littleton, Colorado to remember the victims of the Columbine High School massacre. Birthdays on this date. Renee Zellweger, 53. That lady looks like she's 90 years old, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not being ageist. She not good. And Tim Duncan's birthday. Big fundamentals. 46 years old. I still think he could have played a few more years if he wanted to. He's probably doing a dispensary or something.
With that bank shot.
Oh, man. He could have played forever. On this date in music history, in 1964, Walk On By Dionne Warwick entered the U.S. Top 40 chart up to Medley. In 1978, We Are the Champions by Queen is certified platinum. And in 2002, oh my God, TLC lead singer Lisa Left Eye Lopez, 30, is killed in an auto accident in Honduras. That day was so messed up, man.
She was so cool.
Oh, she was the coolest. Such a terrible day. All right, time for my favorite segment. It's called Did You Know? And did you know, according to a new survey, 60% of men under the age of 30, Gliss, don't own one suit. However, 90% of the men over the age of 30 have at least one. I have a couple suits. Yeah. Did you know 56% of millennials now consider themselves mindful drinkers?
Whatever the hell that means.
That means nothing. But they're mindful of how much they drink or the fact that they drink too much. Did you know that less than 5% of movies released each year in the U.S. have a G rating? I can see that. Yeah. Did you know, according to Cosmopolitan, 20% of guys work out to get over getting dumped. Another 20% listen to anti-love songs. I fall somewhere in the middle. But I have a friend of mine who just had a terrible breakup, and this dude is out here looking like a professional bodybuilder. I'm like, what the hell happened? He goes, well, I'm single now. I'm like, you're not going to be single for long, bub. You keep this up, somebody's going to want to say hi to you. Oh, man. Yeah, his workouts are crucial, too. He films and puts them on Instagram. I'm like, what is going on here? Who are you? Are you about to fight someone? He is working out like he's about to fight Rocky.
That's funny.
It's crazy. Did you know?
This one is probably my favorite one ever. I literally almost spit out my coffee when I read this
Oh
one.
my God. Did you know that running into glass is the second most frequent cause of accidents in the home? Ooh.
Man, that's awesome.
I've seen it happen at my job a couple of times. I have to
It's
show it to you.
hilarious.
It is always funny. I did it
Always.
once, but I had my spider sense was like glass. I was like, oh, that's not the door. Did you know that women spend a little more than I just pictured somebody doing it? Did you know that women spend a little more than 70 days of their life shaving their legs? Ugh. Did you know that 50% of Americans are taking a day off work because they stubbed their toe? Oh, come on, Americans. Get it together.
Seriously.
Did you know there's a statue in Poland that transforms into Darth Vader when it snows? Damn.
That's awesome.
That is pretty cool. And did you know that 70% of women wish they didn't have to deal with being hit on at the gym? Okay, Saturn and Jupiter are gas giant planets that produce a truly unique form of weather. Recently, scientists discovered that there is plenty of carbon in these atmospheres. When carbon soot gets hit by lightning, it hardens into graphite and falls downward, where the pressure of the atmosphere hardens it further until it becomes a diamond. Storms on these planets may literally rain diamonds as big as a centimeter across. Wow. Wow. That's it, man. I think we're done. You're not feeling well. I know you got to get out of here.
It sounds like there's a monsoon outside right now.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I know that feeling. Well, let's call it. Thanks, Bliss. Get better, man. Let me know how you're feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
Right on. Thank you for everything.
Have a good night.
Thank you, sir. Aaliyah and Eden and Robin and Shy B and Julie and everybody, thank you so much for being passengers on the drive today. And please come back tomorrow. We'll be back at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Pardon me. If you enjoyed the drive today, there are 2 ways to support the show that really help. If you watch it right now and you see that subscribe button, hit it. And then please leave a review of the show as well. Another way you can help is definitely leave a review. Go to backchannel.tv and leave a review. We read them. Trust me, we read all of them. And I look forward to reading some of yours on the air soon. Again, we'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time. And there you are. This is the last show for Backchannel for today. This is going to end our broadcast day. We'll be back tomorrow beginning at 6 a.m. Eastern with Haley and Allison's Good Morning. On behalf of everyone at Backchannel.tv, my name is Mario Smith, and you've been watching The Drive as the sun begins its descent in Chicago, Illinois. I wish you all a great evening. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we'll see you all tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Peace.